Michael Carter never expected a routine Saturday at the farmer's market to become the strangest day of his life. He was a single father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, while repairing cars at his neighborhood garage. His life was simple, busy, and focused entirely on providing stability, happiness, and security for her. That morning, Michael arrived with Emma to buy fresh fruit before opening the garage. Emma suddenly noticed a woman struggling with several heavy shopping bags. Michael immediately stepped forward and helped her. The woman thanked him warmly, revealing herself as Victoria Reynolds, a respected technology CEO visiting the neighborhood that weekend. Victoria was elegant but surprisingly relaxed, wearing a cream blazer, dark trousers, and comfortable shoes. She seemed grateful that Michael helped without recognizing her. Emma quickly began talking with Victoria, asking questions about her work and making her laugh. Michael apologized for his daughter's curiosity, but Victoria genuinely enjoyed every question. While they walked through the market together, several people recognized Victoria from television interviews. Then Emma reached for Victoria's hand, and Michael instinctively reached for Emma's other hand. From a distance, they looked like a comfortable little family. A vendor smiled knowingly, and another shopper quietly whispered something that made Victoria laugh. Michael noticed people staring and became embarrassed. When a woman approached and said, "You two make such a lovely couple," Michael immediately opened his mouth to correct her. Before he could speak, Victoria simply smiled. That unexpected reaction left Michael completely confused, especially because her expression looked more pleased than embarrassed. Emma looked between them and innocently asked why everyone thought they were married. Michael tried explaining that Victoria was only someone they had just met. Victoria laughed softly and said sometimes people noticed things before adults did. Michael wondered whether she was joking, but her expression remained strangely warm and completely sincere. Later, they stopped at a small outdoor cafe. Victoria ordered coffee while Emma enjoyed pancakes. Michael sat across from her, still trying to understand the situation. He finally asked why she had not corrected the woman's assumption. Victoria looked directly at him and said she did not see any reason to ruin such a nice moment. Michael nearly dropped his coffee. Victoria explained that people often judged relationships by appearances, yet sometimes appearances reflected something meaningful. She admitted that spending time with Michael felt unexpectedly comfortable. He listened without making assumptions, treated everyone respectfully, and cared deeply about Emma. Those qualities were rare in her world. Victoria's life usually involved executives, investors, security teams, and people seeking something from her. Michael wanted nothing from her. He did not know her wealth, did not ask about her company, and never tried impressing her. His ordinary honesty made Victoria feel comfortable in a way expensive restaurants and private meetings rarely could. Before leaving the cafe, Emma suddenly asked Victoria whether she would come to her school science fair. Michael looked embarrassed, but Victoria happily agreed. The invitation surprised everyone, especially Michael. He expected Victoria to be too busy, yet she promised she would make time. Her confidence made Emma smile throughout the entire afternoon. At the science fair, Victoria arrived carrying flowers for Emma. Michael had spent hours helping his daughter build a small, solar-powered model. When classmates saw Victoria standing beside them, rumors immediately returned. One parent smiled and congratulated Michael on his beautiful family. Again, Victoria did not deny anything. She only smiled warmly. Michael finally asked her privately whether she enjoyed letting people misunderstand their relationship. Victoria answered honestly that she enjoyed watching him become nervous because he cared so much about protecting Emma's feelings. Then her expression became serious. She admitted she was not pretending anymore. She genuinely wanted to know him better. Michael was cautious because his daughter deserved stability. He had promised himself never to bring someone into Emma's life casually. Victoria understood that concern completely. She explained that her wealth could purchase convenience, but it could not purchase trust. If anything developed between them, she wanted it to happen slowly, naturally, and honestly. Over the next several weeks, Victoria became a familiar presence around the garage. She sometimes brought coffee, sometimes helped Emma with school projects, and occasionally sat quietly while Michael repaired cars. Customers began assuming they were already married. Michael would glance at Victoria, expecting correction, but she always answered those assumptions with the same smile. One afternoon, Michael finally asked Victoria what that smile meant. She looked around his small garage before answering. She said she smiled because people saw something she had started feeling herself. Michael was not wealthy, famous, or surrounded by luxury. Yet beside him she felt safe, respected, and genuinely understood. Michael admitted he felt the same connection, but feared moving too quickly. Victoria appreciated his honesty. She promised there would be no pressure, no publicity, and no expectations. They would simply spend time together and let Emma remain comfortable. For the first time, Michael realized their relationship could become something real without forcing anything. Months later, the three attended a community charity event together. A photographer recognized Victoria and asked whether Michael was her husband. Michael looked toward her, waiting. Victoria smiled again, but this time she reached for his. And she did not correct the photographer. Michael understood that her silence finally carried a clear answer. Emma noticed and grinned immediately. She whispered that everyone had finally figured it out. Michael laughed, while Victoria squeezed his hand. Their relationship had not begun with money, status, or some dramatic business arrangement. It started with a grocery bag, a simple act of kindness, and two strangers unexpectedly finding comfort together. Victoria eventually told Michael that the day people mistook them for married had changed her perspective. She had spent years protecting herself from people attracted to her wealth. Michael was different because he never knew what she owned. He simply saw a woman who needed help carrying bags and treated her normally. Michael understood that love did not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it appeared quietly through kindness, patience, shared laughter, and a child's innocent question. Victoria's smile had never been about deception. It was about recognizing a possibility before either adult was ready to name it. Eventually, Michael smiled beside her too.